Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah. Mahdi Tijani back with you guys again. I have an interesting evening lined up for you, inshallah ta'ala. We're going to go through some interesting stuff, actually. And you will recall the other day, if you were on this live, that I was reacting to one of the videos on Muzmatch. And then I said to you I couldn't log into my Instagram at that time to show you the rest of the videos on there. Boy, oh my days. So today, because I forgot my password, would you believe it? Anyway, I'm logged into Instagram now, and we're going to go through those videos. I'm going to go through them with you, and I'm going to show you firsthand. You are going to witness the delusion firsthand. Firsthand. Gold B, my man. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You are going to witness the delusion firsthand, and hence the title of this live. Are delusional Muslim women to blame for the epidemic pandemic of single Muslim men? Are they to blame? Are they too fussy? Let's find out. And you can join this conversation. I've already got some of you joining the stream right now. You can join the stream. I will add you soon, inshallah, but we are going to open this up firstly and foremostly by me showing you some of these absolutely freaking insane videos that I'm about to show you. And when I say insane, I mean freaking insane. Wallahi, I can't get over it. I'm about to show you anyway. If you've just joined, we've got 22 of you in here right now. Please hit that like and sub the channel if you haven't already. Hitting a like is free and it helps to push the algorithm. I much appreciate it. Ikhlas, Miss A, Ali B. Muzmatch has gone crazy. Crazy. Absolutely mental. Yasmin Molihua, no one is to blame. Well, someone's got to be to blame. Someone's got to shoulder the blame. If we have a problem, it means someone's to blame. The question is who? It's impossible that nobody is to blame. Okay. We're not going to play the blame game, though. It's not the point of this live is not to blame. The point of this live is to shine some light. So we will begin this by sharing our screen and going through this utter madness. Let's do this. Actually, before I do that, Ahmed al-Mahdi, are Muslim single men really a problem? Most of the brothers I knew at the masjid were married young. We're gonna get into that, Akhi. We're gonna get into that. But I will open by saying this, sisters, particularly the young sisters. I am talking very specifically to you young sisters. You sisters under the age of 30 or 25. Okay, we'll be flexible. We'll call it 30. Yallah. You don't seem to have a grasp on what the requirements you are demanding, what it takes for a man to meet those requirements, especially the young men. And I say that because a lot of you have an aversion to older men, which is fine. You don't want to marry a guy 20 years older than you. But the thing is, if you want those things that you are asking for, has to be earning. Mathalan, for example, the sister the other day, 50k a year. Well, very unlikely you're going to find a brother in his 20s. The sister the other day also mentioned that I find boys, young men my age, too immature. No shit. No kidding. Absolutely. It takes time for a man to mature, to get into his stride. You know what? I heard a content creator say the other day that it's only when a man reaches 30 that the light bulb switches on in his head, that he finally wakes up. And let me tell you something. I got married at the age of 16. I had my first kid at 17, my second kid at 18, my third kid at 19, all sons, alhamdulillah. Then my third son died, passed away when he was 20. When I was 20. Then I had another one at 2012 Olympics. How old was I? 23. Then I had the fifth one at 24. Then I got married second time at 25. Then I got married for the third time at 27. Then I had what child number is it now? I think I had number 6 at 29. And then number 7 at 31. So I have lived a lot of life from a very young age. I have lived a lot of life. Alhamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah. And I can tell you this with all of that. And let me tell you something else. Because I got married so young, I had to obviously grow up quickly, right? I had to grow up. I didn't have a choice. Like, it was grow up or basically lose the marriage. So I ditched all of my time wasting friends. I ditched all of my jahil habits. Alhamdulillah, Allah guided me. Okay, fantastic. To the point where I could not relate to the boys in my age bracket. I couldn't relate to them. I couldn't connect with them. Wallahi, I couldn't connect with them. My friends were all 30 plus. When I was 16, all of my friends were 30 plus. Those same guys are coming into their 50s now. Some of them are over 50. And I'm still friends with them because I couldn't connect with my age group because I had kids and a family and I was, we had moved out when I was 17. I was running a household and studying full time and raising children and it was long. So I had to grow up quickly. And with all of that responsibility that was thrust upon me, or I should say I thrust it upon myself, whichever way you want to look at it, from a very young age, still the light bulb did not switch on in my head until 30. And it was actually 29, the latter part of 29. That's when the light bulb finally switched on. And I finally started, you could say, thinking more like a man. And you know what? I will probably, almost definitely, look back on myself in 10 years' time from now and think to myself, wow, I was such an immature child. Who I am right now. Undoubtedly, I have no doubt I will think that. Because if you are not embarrassed by who you were last year, you are not progressing quick enough. Let me say that again for those of you who missed it at the back, for those of you who fear progress, for those of you who fear becoming a better version of yourself, because if you become a better version of yourself, it means your previous version was inferior, which means you are in a constant, perpetual state of inferiority. A perpetual state of inferiority. Jahl. And this is the case until you die. What was his name? Socrates, before he died. He, very famous Stoic scholar, said, the only thing I know for sure is that I know nothing. That's what I know for sure, is that I know nothing. So if you are not embarrassed by who you were last year, you are not progressing fast enough. So I have no doubt I will look back on myself in 10 years' time and most probably be ashamed of the person that I am right now. I hope so, because that's an indication I have progressed. If I don't think like that 10 years from now, 1 year from now, never mind 10 years from now, it means I'm not progressing quick enough. And I say the same to you. If you, watching right now, my brother, my sister, if you do not feel embarrassed today by the person you were 3 years ago, 2 years ago, depending on your age, let's say you're 16, then 3 years ago you were 13, then for sure you're much more mature, right? Obviously, but once you're getting into your 20s now, okay, if you're 25 and you don't feel embarrassed by the person that you were when you were 22, you are not progressing quick enough. If you are 30 and you do not feel embarrassed by the person that you were when you were 27, you are not progressing quick enough. You are not putting in the work. You are not developing up here mainly. And I speak more to the men than to the women. Why? Because women tend to mature quicker than men anyway. Right? Everyone knows this. This is not a secret. I'm not telling you anything phenomenal or new here. This is not groundbreaking stuff. This is obvious stuff. Men, however, we take time to mature. So I speak to you men, if you don't feel embarrassed, if you are over the age of 25, let's say 25, and you don't feel embarrassed by the person that you were 3 years ago, you are not progressing quick enough. You are not progressing fast enough. So, what are we going to do right now? We are going to have an absolute ball right now with this flipping muzmaj. A'udhu billah. I'm going to put this link in the chat here. You are welcome to join the stream once I have finished reacting to this video. Right, we're going to react to this video together, inshallah ta'ala. Give me strength, ya Rab. Bismillah. Let's do this. Share screen. Naz, I can see you there in the stream. Hold out for me and I will be there shortly, inshallah. Right, share screen. Chrome tab. Yallah. All right, you guys flipping ready for this, yeah? Oh God! I actually recognize one of my boys here in Muzmatch as well. I'm not going to name him because he's actually one of my Patreon members as well. Shout out to you, brother. I'm not going to mention your name. I'm going to keep your anonymity. But yeah, I was like, okay, mashallah. Anyway, let's get into this first video. Right. The title of the video is, Where's Your Hijab? Tamam, let's go for this. Let's have a look. Hold on one second. Give me a second, guys. Okay, let's do this. Bismillah. I'm gonna have to play this again because I lost the sound.
Where's your internet history? Where's your hijab? Where's your internet history?
The young man asks him, where's your hijab? She responds, where's your internet history? First of all,
this is haram.
That's the first thing. Second of all,
put that burqa on. Shut the fuck up.
Did you hear the man? Did you hear him? Let me say that again. First of all,
this is haram.
Second of all,
put that burqa on. Shut the fuck up.
Shout out to Andrew Tate. I had to use that. Sisters, this is not a Muslim women thing. This is a female thing. And that is, women have an innate aversion towards being held accountable. They have an innate aversion towards being held accountable. She would rather, and I know this is satire, but satire is often a reflection of reality. And she would rather respond with a question that has no basis, meaning it's total suspicion. She has no clue whether she's onto something here or not, as opposed to face the reality of, yeah, it's true. I don't wear hijab. I reckon I should own that. I should own that. You should own that. For those of you saying my mic ain't loud enough, I mean, I'm working on it, guys. I configured it earlier, but anyway, khair inshallah. You should own that, my sister. You should not have an aversion towards this question. It's not. No one's insulting you. It's just a question, like, yeah, big man thing. If you are depriving your Lord of his rights, then this is a strong indication that you will deprive your husband of his rights. For if you can't fulfill your Lord of his, how are you going to fulfill your husband of his? All right, next video. I played you this one the other day, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I played you that one. Oh, no, I didn't. I didn't play you this one. Let me play. So the boundaries that should be made clear is what she's saying. I don't have to cook for you, and I don't have to have sex with you if I don't want you. So let's get the first one out. I don't have to cook for you. Okay.
You have a wife, she cooks, she cleans, she won't cheat because she'll get stoned. She gives you as many kids as you want, she obeys.
Sounds pretty good to me. Listen, sisters. I had this discussion the other day with a brother who came onto the stream, and he was a bit triggered by the fact that, you know, black pill I don't want to call it an ideology, but black pill tenets. It's not an ideology. They make some fair points. And I said to him that when it comes down to it, men and women have pretty simple roles in the context of a marriage, under the umbrella of a marriage. Men are like batteries, basically, protect, provide, right? Women are comfort pillows. That's basically it. Comfort and nurture. You see, you want your traditional Muslim husband who is willing to foot the bills for everything, who is willing to put his life on the line for you, to potentially die for you. You want all of that good stuff. Okay. But you don't even so much as want to provide him with sex when he needs it or when he wants it. And then to the top of it, on top of all of that, you don't want him to get married again either. I'm sorry, you can't have your cake and eat it, sister. And I know a lot of you would prefer your husband to go to a prostitute than to take on another wife in halala. Now, I have my views on polygyny. You guys know this. I believe polygyny is not for most men, but regardless, it doesn't matter. The point still stands, which is you don't want to make yourself available to him sexually, and you don't want to cook for him. Then you're useless. What are you? What's your role? What then? You're useless, because these are very important things. And I showed you the hadith the other day, but I will show you again. Let me show you this again, because I've still got the thing up here on my screen. Share screen, Chrome tab. Right, let's go through this real quick. If a woman refuses her husband's request to come to bed with no Islamically sound reason, such as sickness or his being drunk, for example, what happens is as described below. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said, the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, if a man calls his wife to bed and she refuses, i.e. she does not come, don't get it twisted, guys, yeah? You filthy animals. Yep.
This is haram.
You filthy animals. And does not come, and he spends the night angry with her, the angels will curse her until morning. Okay? Now, if a woman is, you see, I don't know if that sister is married or not. And there is another video that I will show you which suggested to me that maybe she is married, and if she's not, then that video is just way wrong. Anyway, I'm presuming she's married based upon this other video I've seen, and I will show you it afterwards. But this speaks to the fact that a lot of women don't desire their husbands anymore. This is actually very commonplace. It's a common theme. A lot of women don't, to the point where they are making Netflix TV series out of it. Netflix TV series, that TV series Sex Life, don't watch it. Totally haram. I saw the trailer and I saw the beginning part of it. Totally, you can't go there. But it's a reflection of what women globally are experiencing. And when I say globally, because that Netflix TV program was number one, not just in the UK, not just in the US, but in India and many other countries as well. And the essence of that program, for those of you who don't know what it is about, is a woman who has married her Prince Charming, and he provides her with a beautiful life. They live in a massive home, beautiful, spacious home. And, you know, it's the American dream, if you like, or every woman's dream. And yet, somehow, she still finds herself thinking about her bad boy ex-lover, whom she eventually gets into an entanglement with, right? Shout out Jada Pinkett. And then ends up basically cheating on her partner. And I don't know the whole story because I haven't watched the whole story, but that's the bottom line. And I need you to understand something. Why has that program been so popular or so successful? There's a book, and I've mentioned this in one of my previous streams, called Blue Ocean Strategy. Blue Ocean Strategy essentially teaches you how to get out of the bloody waters of red oceans in the marketplace of competition, and to create an entirely new market whereby nobody is currently competing in. Okay? And one program that they mentioned was an effective blue ocean strategy from a business standpoint was Sex in the City. Why? Sex in the City talks about the lifestyles of middle-aged professional women who are struggling to date or find a husband, get married. Super successful program. Why? Because women on a massive scale could relate to it. Women on a huge scale could relate to it. Equally, that Sex Life program, what was it about? A woman who has it all. Her husband is providing her with everything that she could ever ask for, yet she still cheats on him with the bad boy. Why? Because the bad boy's just got it. The bad boy. And that speaks to something that women are experiencing on a grand scale. So when a woman, in this case a sister, is making videos like this, it's an indication, it's speaking to something deeper. And that deeper thing that it is speaking to is the fact that a lot of women don't desire their men. Society has raised generations, not a single generation, generations of effeminate men doing what they thought women wanted. Be more understanding. Be more into your emotions. Don't be so toxically masculine. Equality, equal rights. You know, blank slate equality. We're equals. No, we're not. Yet men have done all of this, and women are repulsed by them. Hence why 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of Grey is about what? It's a crazy story about some psychopath who kidnaps this woman and does all sorts of crazy things to her, physical, intimate things to her, and then she falls in love with him. That book caught on like wildfire. That book made its author a multi-millionaire. I mean, 9-figure millionaire. 100+ million. That book was the #1 selling book of the past decade. That book, when it came out, when it was first published, when they were printing it, and remember, it was a self-published book that had no marketing behind it, none at all. And yet, when that book came out, it started selling in droves, literally by the millions, to the point where the UK ran out of silver ink. I kid you not. The UK ran out of silver ink. There was no more silver ink left in the UK to print the cover of the book because the cover of it is silver. That's how popular it was. That's how much women could relate to this feeling of wanting to be taken. Yes, of wanting to be taken. I've thrown up the StreamYard link. I am going to bring you guys on shortly. I've got a couple of videos to show you first. Share this stream again. Share this screen again. My apologies. Right, Muzmatch. What was the last one I wanted to show you guys? Yes. Now this one is of Kimo Kazi. Shout out to Kimo Kazi. He's actually a funny dude, but Allah yahdi him and his family. Let's find him. Here we go.
Today I was going through my TikTok comments and I found one that said I really need to find a girlfriend. So here's me trying. I saw you from back over there and I think you're really cute. I didn't get your number.
No, I have a boyfriend.
And then randomly my sister Sarah called.
Chemo.
What?
I heard you're looking for a girlfriend.
How do you know?
Download Mismatch. I'm on it.
You have a boyfriend?
What? I didn't even say that.
What do you?
Bye.
What are you talking?
Bye.
What do you? I did it. I signed up for a dating app.
What? I signed you up already with the mismatch.
What do you mean you signed me up?
Yes, next week you have a date. You have a
With
date.
who?
You have a
With
date.
who?
With Fatman. No.
Today I was going through my.
All right, enough of that. What do you think my problem is with that? Take a guess. What do you think my problem is with that? Girlfriend, boyfriend, date. I thought Muslim match, right? What has this got to do with the price of fish from an Islamic standpoint? What has this got to do with the price of fish? I'm confused. Somebody please help me. What do you mean girlfriend? What do you mean boyfriend? And man, them are sitting there laughing like, hey, you got a boyfriend. What are you talking about? And then Muzmatch are peddling this. Who's running this app? I know we had Brother Baba Ali on the other day. Shout out to you, Brother Baba Ali. He's the brother who's founder of Half Our Deen. And I know some of the sisters were saying, no, it's only 30+ brothers in there. Well, whatever. I mean, it's just the type of spec you're looking for in a man. You need to be looking 30+ or 40+, whatever it was. Anyway, what is going on? What is this? Girlfriend, boyfriend. I'm confused. Somebody, please, in the comments, explain to me. What's going on?
This is #1 bullshit.
That's what that is. That's what that is. I don't know, man. I don't know. Allah. All right, let me go through some of these comments. Hit that stream link, by the way. The link, I have put the link up already in the description, but the link is in the comments as well. You're welcome to join the stream. Let me pick out one of these comments here. Yeah, to the sister in the chat who keeps talking about her husband and he needs to look this, that way, and the third. Sister, you are going to have to decide what's most important to you. Or your best years, because you're in your prime right now, are going to leave you. they're going to leave you, and then you're going to be scrambling. So decide what's most important to you, most important, and then run with it. You can't have 5 most important things. No, you can't. If it was as easy to find what you are looking for, you would already be married. That man would have found you and married you. So if that man has not found you and married you, there's an indication that perhaps you need to reconsider what your spec is in a man that you're looking for. A feminist is running their Insta page. I mean, it seems to be the case. It seems to be the case, Adi. It seems to be the case. Karen, what if my parents don't approve of me marrying? It depends. It depends what their basis is for that disapproval in the first place. Excuse me, my sugar's low. What is their basis for this disapproval in the first place? You see, one thing you don't want to do is go behind their back and get married anyway. I'm not saying parents are always right. Sometimes they are wrong. Sometimes they don't want their son or their daughter or son, I should say, to get married simply because the guy or the girl is not from the correct caste. Something silly like that. Okay? In which case, you may have a discussion, you may have an argument to take to a qadi who will rule either in your favor or against you. But a lot of the time, your dad in particular, he knows what's best for you better than you do. Our parents are not Muslim. It doesn't matter. The point still stands. It's not a Muslim thing. A lot of the time, much of the time, your parents, specifically your father, knows what's good for you better than you do. Now, I don't know your dad. I don't know whether he's, if he's a decent bloke or not. But if he's a decent bloke, if he's a half decent man, believe me, he raised you. And he's lived life longer than you. Of course, he's going to know better than you. Oh, no, he doesn't know me. No, he knows better than you. I've seen it one too many times now where girls have gone behind their parents' back and married a man against their will. Their parents didn't want them to get married, but they did it anyway. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, 6 years down the line, 7 years down the line, and 1, 2, 3, 4 children down the line, the marriage falls apart. And she wishes she listened to her father. She wishes. Iman, salaam alaikum rahmatullah.
Walaikum salam.
Yes, sister, what you got for me?
I'm just gonna ask you. One of my sisters is like a feminist. She's very into that, and recently my dad has been into a lot of Jordan Peterson, and they've been clashing a lot. But basically, she doesn't want to get married. Well, she wants to get married, but she doesn't want to have any kids and that, which is an issue. So, how would I advise her? Because she's very like strong. She doesn't listen to anyone, unfortunately.
Okay, how old is she?
21.
21. Nothing you can do for her. Nothing at all. Actually, I will tell you this. The more you try, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. The more you try to convince her of your position, the less convinced she will be by it. So you just have to let her do her thing. Because 21 years old, you see, the thing is with youth, and how old are you, Iman?
I'm 22.
All right, so you're not that much older. The thing is with youth is that privilege is invisible to those who have it, right? Shout out to Myron Gaines for that one. When you're young, especially as a woman, you have all the attention in the world from men, even if you're semi-good looking, because you have the advantage of youth on your side. Problem is that leaves you. Obviously, people age, you get older. And once you're north of 25, 26, 27, 28, things start to change. That attention starts to disappear. And some people need to learn the hard way. What are you going to say to her? What are you going to tell her? What's your view on it? What's your view on having children or not having children?
I want kids. I'm one of 6, and my mum's one of 8. So we have a big family. And
Nice.
I want lots of kids. They say don't, because my mum and that, because she's hasn't spread out, but she couldn't like go to university afterwards because I was sick, and then she had my brother, like went before she went back to uni, so she couldn't go.
Right. So, my question to you is, Iman, what are you doing for yourself to ensure that you don't end up the way that your sister is looking like she's going to end up if she doesn't pattern up? What are you doing to ensure that you find yourself a decent man, and inshallah get happily married and live your happily ever after, so to speak? What are you doing to make sure that?
I know my flaws because my family loves to point everyone's flaws out. It's just how we are. We are very blunt. So I have a lot of issues, not like health issues, but personal issues that I need to go through before I can get married. And my dad said, "You're not getting married until I say you're ready," because he knows what it's like out there.
And what are those issues? Give me an example.
Well, one is my speech. I know that. It's just like how I speak. It's weird stuff, like how I walk and that.
All right. I mean, that's minor stuff, Iman. Look, you can do both at the same time. You can do both. Let me leave you with this, okay? Because I'm about to bring another caller on. You can do both at the same time. If these are not major issues, it's not like you need some type of therapy for some type of past trauma. Again, I don't know if you do. If you do, by the way, you should get that therapy. But if you don't, this is simple stuff. So you can do both at the same time. If it's your speech, like you're saying, or you're walking, I don't know exactly what you're referring to, but we'll just leave it there. Then you can do both at the same time. Work on that and have your father keep his eye out for good potential brothers, because you will never find it easier to get married than you will right now. This time doesn't come back around. Don't wait. Don't wait. You understand?
Yeah.
All right, man. Thank you for coming on. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Islam.
God. Oh my days. Did you see that? Wow. 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 That's gonna flipping trigger my video. Nice one. Nice one. You know what I should have done? My mistake. My mistake. I should have got him to open his camera before bringing him on. Yes, Iblis, absolutely. Subhanallah. Imagine having that much time in your day to go out of your way to come onto someone's stream just to play that. Imagine having that much time. All right, if you want to join the stream, the link is here in the chat. You can see it, and it's in the description as well.
This is haram.
Super haram. All right, we've got listen, as someone else on the stream right now, you've got some rainbow flag in your thing. If you want me to bring you on, I'm gonna have to see your camera first, my man. We ain't playing no games out here now. Show me your camera, let me see who you are, and then I'll decide whether to bring you on or not. Yeah. Right. Okay, cool. Yes. Hello, my man. Salaam alaikum. Nope. 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 No, 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 no. Sammy, let me see your face. Let me see your face, Sammy. This stream is turning nuts. No, you're not going to show me your face? Right, okay.
All right, there we go. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Yeah, I just had some mad things on the stream just now. That's why I didn't see your face.
I saw it. That was disgusting.
Right. Yes, sir. We got Bismillah.
No, I mean, honestly, I didn't have any specific questions in mind. Well, actually, I do have a question. Yeah, just like, honestly, it's a struggle nowadays. Like, trying to get married. There's not really a lot of options. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's not as easy as you think. Nowadays, like, there's only, I don't know. I feel like the only option is online because, like, where I live, I went to all the imams and all the messages. I'm like, hey, can you help a brother out trying to get married, this and that? And nobody really wants to get involved. You know, the imams don't want to get involved because, like, they probably figure, oh, if it doesn't work out, I don't want that on my head. So, you know, I'm not going to get involved, this and that. I feel like that's, you know, part of the issue. And then obviously, like, you can't just approach a Muslim girl at the masjid or just approach her in the street. Like, that's not really the appropriate way, right?
Why
so
not?
what are you left with?
What's wrong with that? Hold on. What's wrong with that, bro? What's wrong with approaching a sister in the street?
It's like ayib, this and that. It's ayib, you know?
Why is it ayib?
I mean, that's just, you know, it's just the culture. That's just, you're not allowed to do that, you know? Is that not your experience?
No, it's not ayib at all. I have a friend, actually. He carries like a business card of his name, number, and details. And if he sees a sister on road and he's really like, he feels like he can't let that opportunity pass him by, he will approach her respectfully and say to her, sister, I'm looking to get married. If you are as well, this is my number. Please hand it to your wali. Done. Leaves.
That's it.
That's it. Finished. Done. Keeps it strictly professional. No need to hang about and chit chat and so on. Especially, he said to me, if a sister that I feel like, you know what, if I don't do this, I will regret it. Look, bro, I said this the other day on a stream. You have to go through the numbers. You have to go through the numbers. And look, you're a handsome man, mashallah. You know, you shouldn't have much trouble getting into conversation with a sister quite easily.
I mean, I guess, you know, if it's a non-Muslim sister, yeah, I don't have an issue. I'm more comfortable with that. If it's a Muslim sister, just going up to her, I feel like it's, you know, inappropriate. And then this is the other thing is like, I guess the idea is if it's a Muslim sister and she's receptive to you coming, just approaching her like that in the street or whatever, you know, what does that say about her if she's that receptive to just any guy approaching her on the street? You don't find an issue with that as well?
Right. Okay. Let's address your first question. Okay. Let's address your first question. Your first point was approaching a sister. It feels kind of wrong. It feels awkward. I have a question for you, bro. Are these sisters not also looking to get married as well?
Yeah. And then the risk of like, if they're married.
But hold on. Let's just stay there. These sisters want to get married as much as the brothers do, right? Nobody wants to be single, right?
Right.
So, but if you are avoiding approaching them for fear of it being hayab or whatever the case may be, that hurts them just as much as it hurts you. You see, because it's not natural for a sister to go up to a brother and do it. So if the brothers are not approaching them, if the opportunity arises, then who's doing the approaching? No one. And these sisters want to be married as much as the brothers do.
I mean, the issue is like the tradition is your parents need to find someone or they need to know someone who knows someone. And that's how you meet them. That's like the tradition. But as far as like just approaching them in the street. But yeah, of course, the onus is on the man to approach it if that's a feasible option. But then the other thing is like very religious girls, which is what I'm looking for. You don't find them in the street. At least like I live in America, right? You don't really see them in the street. Like if they exist, they're locked up in their homes. Their parents don't let them see the light of day. That type of thing.
What do you define as very religious? What does that mean?
Like a hijab and a abaya. Like you said, you know, when you met your first wife, like that stood out to you, right?
Right.
I mean, to me, that's the same thing. Like that stands out to me because you just don't see that too often nowadays. So that's kind of, you know, what I'm looking for, and that's to me ideal.
All right, okay. Let's talk about that for a second. I know that there's this whole modest dress flex going on in America right now, UK as well for that matter, but especially America. You see, the thing is, when you approach a sister, sometimes a woman just needs a little bit of a nudge in the right direction. So what am I trying to say? Just because she doesn't wear a jilbab or abaya specifically doesn't necessarily mean she's a bad girl. She might have some type of peer pressure. She might just need a nudge in the right direction is all I'm saying. But you will not know that until you actually have a conversation with her in the first place. Do you see? You will not know that until you have that conversation with her. How many sisters have you approached in the past 12 months, Sammy? Before that, how long have you been looking to get married for?
Probably, I guess 2 years.
2 years. Okay. How old are you now?
So I'm 36, right? I was previously married when I was about 32. I had a daughter, and then got divorced like a year and a half later. And basically, yeah, it's a lot of the issues that I find with like Western women, specifically
Okay,
in
hold on.
America.
So you're
Okay.
36. You do not look 36 at all. You look 26 alone.
Thank you, Habibi.
You
Thank
look
you.
10 years
Appreciate it.
younger.
I'm
Okay.
working out, so
Good. Now that we've tackled that first part, the second part is how many sisters have you spoken to in the past 12 months?
12 months. Probably 3 or something like that. 3 or 4.
Okay.
Like, cause online, like I finally, like, I deleted all social media and I got off all that.
Hold on, Sammy. Hold
Okay.
on. If Sammy, if you were a salesman selling windows like I was speaking about the other day, and you knocked 4 houses, yeah, I want you to just, it doesn't matter whether you have sales experience or not. On average, when I was doing it 15 years ago, a set of windows, basic windows, will cost you around £10,000, and then they'll bring it down maybe, but the starting price is around £10,000. Okay, if you knock just 4 doors, how many of those houses do you think are going to say, yes, I'd love to buy your £10,000 windows after the first time of seeing you? Roughly, how many do you think?
Not many. I understand it's a numbers game. I get that. I totally get that. But
the vibe that I get from you, bro, is that for whatever reason you have a fear of rejection. For whatever reason, maybe your past experiences, maybe you're conscious about the fact that you've had a child, which, by the way, a single father is not the same as a single mother, and I'll explain to you why. A single father, he is the one who is responsible for his child. Even if he marries again, his child, he will still be responsible for financially, right? Not his wife. A single mom, if she gets married, she will now expect this new man to take responsibility, including financial responsibility, over her children. That's why they're not the same. They're not the same.
I mean, I agree it's not the same, but it is still taboo, like, even as a man to have a child, but obviously not nearly as bad.
Hold on. No. I'll take it one step further. When a man has a child, okay, and I'm bastardizing this now from Rolo. Shout out to Rolo. It is proof of concept. What does that mean? Women are they decide, they control access to sex. Okay, they control access to copulation, to reproduction. When a woman has a child, it's meaningless because everyone knows a woman can literally, if she's even just a little bit good looking, she can go out into the street, say to anyone, have sex with me, and she can fall pregnant and have a child. So it's meaningless. However, when a man has a child, that's proof of concept. Proof of concept of what? That some woman out there decided that this man was worthy of reproducing with. That's proof of concept.
Right.
That is something that is in your favor. It's not a minus. It's actually in your favor. Why? Proof of concept. A woman out there decided you're worthy of reproducing with.
I mean, because I've heard you say about yourself, like, because you were divorced twice, that's 2 blemishes on you, right? Didn't you say that? So, I mean, I'm sure to some extent it's...
I don't like divorce for different reasons. It's not because I feel like it makes me less attractive or anything like that, because it doesn't, alhamdulillah. But it's because I'm just so I have such an aversion towards divorce because of the impact it has on the children. That's my beef with divorce.
I agree.
Do you understand? And you, as a single man, you would know. Sorry, as a man who's had a child, and you know exactly what I'm talking about, bro.
100%.
That's my beef.
But to be quite honest with you, like, the main issue that I find is that just the whole feminism issue that women have, especially in the United States. I don't know how it is in the UK, but it's just really bad in the United States. And so, I mean, what happens is I'll start talking to a girl and I'll just start asking these questions and finding out, the way she thinks, her ideology, and if it's like, and it just always seems like it's too much on the feminist side. Like, oh, I don't want my man telling me what to do. I do what I want. I'm independent. I don't need a man. You're just like, they just want a sidekick. I don't know what they want, but that's really the issue I'm finding. So, like, now, even though I'm on the apps,
again, Sammy, even with that though, you have only spoken to 4 women in the past 12 months. So, you've knocked 4 doors and they've all said no to you. That's normal. You know, it's quite normal. And they've
I
all
mean,
said
it's not
to
so
you,
much that
get
they
lost,
said no to me. It's
get off
just
my
that I
lawn.
said,
Get off my lawn is what they've told you. It's what they used to tell me. Like 1 in every 100 houses, if you're lucky, bro. You need to go through the numbers quicker than this. What's holding you back from
well, I'll tell
moving
you, for
through
example,
quicker?
I was talking to a girl in Orlando, right?
Mm-hmm.
She wore the hijab. She seemed like pretty modest, so that piqued my interest. So I started asking about her, and she's like, "Oh, well, if I get married, I didn't go to school all these years for nothing. Like, I want to use my education. I want to work, right? Me, I'm more traditional. I want someone who's going to stay at home, take care of the house and the kids." And then, I was like, I don't want a wedding. I think a wedding is stupid. Stupid. I had a wedding, and even though I managed to have a smaller wedding, Palestinians are out of control when it comes to weddings. They want to do it big, and it's just ridiculous. So I told this girl, I'm not having a wedding. That was an issue, right? The other issue.
Okay, hold on. You're not having a wedding. Could you, when you say, do you mean a walima, the big party thing?
Yeah. I just want like a nikah, go to the masjid, that's it. And then maybe like a nice dinner between the families afterwards. Something simple like that. I don't want dancing and music and all that other
And
crap.
when you're approaching this sister, okay, so for example, this last one,
Right.
were you laying down what you don't want before you had actually struck up some type of see if there was some type of chemistry there? Were you laying the law like in advance to let her know, look, this is me, this is what I'm trying to do? Is that how you put it forward?
More or less, yeah, I would say so. Because I mean, I get it. Like probably in the beginning, you want to build some type of connection and comfort before you start laying down the law. But
Not necessarily. You don't want to get too close. But at the same time, when you come on heavy like that,
yeah,
especially to a woman who's never been married before, I'm presuming she's never
yeah,
been married before. If she's like heavy on that, right? Then it can come across as a bit claustrophobic. You see, so there is a bit more of an art to it, a bit more tactful. You need to see. Okay, I've given the example before. I nearly blew my marrying my current wife because she
right.
didn't want to wear niqab, right? That was, and I was like, that's it, finished, done. I was like, and then I came back, I was like, hold on a minute, you know what am I talking about? Am I all of these other qualities she has? Am I gonna blow it because of this niqab thing, which I know we can talk about after we get married anyway? It didn't make sense to me. You see, sometimes you need to let that.
But that's a little
flow
bit different because, like you said,
It is.
when you spend all this money to get married, there is some resentment because it's like, yo, I blew all this money just to get married. What about after? What about the actual marriage? What about the house and the car and paying bills and starting a life? You know what I mean? All that's going towards one night of fun when it could be going towards like,
For sure.
building a future. So that's that's kind of my issue with it. Yeah,
Where
I
do
understand
you
you kind of make the comparison, but
do you live on your own?
so after I got divorced, I was living on my own for a while, and my mom, she lived 20 minutes away. I'm like, why spend all this money living by myself? She got nobody. She's divorced, so she doesn't have anybody to take care of her. So of course, as her son, we decided to move in together and split the bills and make it easy on everyone.
Okay.
So
That's
that was
fine.
another issue. So
What do you do? What's your occupation?
so I'm an attorney.
Nice.
I currently after the pandemic, I didn't have to go to the office anymore. I was able to work from home. Now I can work remotely from anywhere, which is a blessing. I love it. Alhamdulillah. So just doing my thing. Yeah. So that's the other thing. Like I'm home all day. Like all I do is I'm home and I go to the gym. So where am I going to meet this sister? But anyways, before I get off too far on a tangent. So the other issue with this last female I was talking to was she's like, oh, and I can't live with your mom or whatever. Because these girls have this extreme fear and paranoia, like the evil in-laws and the evil mother-in-law, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, a lot of the time, I'm going to be honest with you, Sammy, a lot of the time living with in-laws is very problematic. It's not ideal. It's not ideal, especially if you have, and I'm not saying you now, I don't know your situation, but if you have a jealous mom who's quite territorial over her son, will literally, she can really, okay, one of my friends, he got married, this is many years ago now, and his mom, because they were very young, he moved his wife into the family home. so where he was living with his parents. His mum refused to allow them to have the bedroom door shut at any time. The bedroom door had to be open at all times. They got divorced 12 months later without ever having consummated the marriage.
Wow. Yeah, that's
Now,
a
of course,
problem.
they had other issues. They could have gone to hotels and stuff like that. But my point is, they had many other issues for that matter. But my point is, the mom she played a significant part in that. Why? Because she was super territorial and possessive over her son. So it's not ideal. However, it's a situation by situation basis, right? You're saying you were taking care of your mom, you're looking after your mom?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have anybody else. Like, I'm not gonna just leave her by herself. You know
Of
what I mean?
course.
But
Of course.
the thing is, like, look, I understand it's not the ideal situation, but this is the thing. It's like you make a sacrifice in success, right? Short,
Sammy, say that again.
short-term suffering.
You were jarring. Say that again.
I said,
please.
yeah, I mean, it's basically, it's not the ideal situation, but it's short-term suffering for long-term success. Like, it's a sacrifice. You feel me? So like, me and my family, what we're trying to do, we're trying to save up some money, buy some land, build some houses, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to take a lot of money. So that's why, if we lived together for a year or two to save that money up, so be it.
That makes sense.
So
Okay.
like, I would want someone who's, who sees that same vision and was like, okay, yeah, obviously I'm not super happy about living with your mom or other, your brothers, for example. But,
Okay,
I
hold on.
know
Do you have brothers living with you?
not currently, but like my younger brother, he's a dentist. He might move back in and try to save up money for the same reason.
He's a dentist. How old is he?
32.
32, right. Bro, don't bring your wife home to where your brother is. If your brother moves back in, that means that your brother can take care of your mom. There's someone there to take care of your mom. But whatever you do not bring your wife home to your brother-in-law. The brother-in-law is death. Yeah? As per the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Don't do that. I understand you want to save and so on. That's fine. If it was just you and your sisters, for example, great, fantastic.
So
I'm with you.
That's not,
Don't bring your brother home.
That's not appropriate.
Yeah, the brother-in-law is death. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Got you.
Doesn't matter what you're saving for. You feel me?
Yeah.
Look,
okay.
Akhi, it sounds to me that you have options, right? You're an attorney, mashallah. You're a handsome young man. You look 10 years younger than what you are, right? You have options open to yourself. And if your brother is looking to move back home, so much the better, bro. So much the better. You don't need to move far. You don't need to go far. You can still be close to your mom. But you have your own nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's not that big of an issue. I just don't like the girl kind of, making the rules. You know what I mean? I feel like, hey, if I say we got to live, with my mom for a year, then, I just don't want her making the rules. I know it's not ideal and it's not the best situation and it could.
Hey, listen, what I'll tell you is this, bro. She's making rules with you in these conversations, because she's not in your frame. And why is she not in your frame? Because she doesn't know you. She doesn't know you from Adam. She's like, who's this stranger telling me what to do after talking to me for 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But after you get married, okay, and you have established a relationship, love, and so on and so forth, and she's in your frame and you do all the other things that I've spoken about on my channel, then the conversation changes. But right now, she's looking at it from a position of, who's this bre? I don't even know this brother, and he's trying to tell me what to do. That's because she's not in your frame. You see, as I nearly blew it with my own wife when we start clashing on the carb thing. She wasn't in my frame yet. It was too fresh, too new.
But like in my situation, you're getting to know someone long distance, right? Because it's hard to really find anybody local. So I'm dealing with these long distance situations, and so that beginning stage is sort of that get to know you stage, and you're kind of laying out all your ideas.
Say that again. You're cutting out. You're laying out, Sammy. You're laying out all your what? All your problems? Did you say?
No, like your beliefs and ideologies. You're laying out all of your beliefs and ideologies in that get to know you stage, in that beginning stage when you're talking long distance, right? And most of these girls, they're too scared to get on the phone or video chat. They all want to get to know you through text message, which is impossible.
I wonder why. Too many filters. Too many filters.
they're scared and shy and all this other stuff. It's like, how am I supposed to get to know you through text message? It's not going to happen, especially like long distance. But that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about.
Okay,
Was just
let's
like,
talk about that long distance thing for a second. First and
yeah.
foremost, if it's long distance, how long distance are we talking?
I mean, usually like different state or a different country.
That's too far, bro. You need to keep it local. Unless you're gonna move there or you're gonna move her here, then that's different.
Well,
But long distance relationships don't work, Akhi. They don't work. And best believe if you're long distance, you are second place, third place, fourth place option to her. Because she knows women are very practical. They have pre-nut clarity. Remember? She knows that the likelihood of this thing working out is slim. Therefore, I'm on a timer, right? TikTok. I'm on a timer. I need to find myself a husband quickly. So I'm going to make sure that I look here at the same time. I make sure that in my own vicinity. Why? Because she can't afford to wait forever. Forget long distance, bro. You so many women, bro. Just look in your own vicinity, and it should not be hard for someone like you. I don't accept it. I'm sorry.
Listen,
not someone like you, Akhi. Should not be hard for you.
I can't do these American girls. Akhi, I can't. They're too Western the way they think.
Okay, if you want a girl from a different country, and again, that comes with its own baggage. And by the way, Coach Karim made a brilliant point the other day. He said, if you're going to look to marry a conservative woman, shout out to Coach Karim. He said, marry a conservative woman from your country. He said, don't marry a conservative woman from another country and then bring her to your country. Why? He said, because you don't know how she's going to react once she comes to your liberal country. You don't know how she's going to react. So if you want to marry a conservative woman,
what does that have to do with her being from my country?
Well, no. I'm not talking about ethnic origin. I'm talking about where she was raised. Where was she born and raised? You see, because where are you from? What's your ethnic origin? Palestinian. You were raised in America?
Yes, born and raised.
Right. You can find another Palestinian girl. You share the same ethnicity, but she was raised in Palestine. That's two totally different worlds, bro. Two totally different worlds, different upbringing, different everything. You could find a conservative Muslim sister from Palestine, of course, but she's conservative there. You don't know how she's going to react once she sees all this mad freedom over here in the West.
Yeah,
you don't know.
I've seen it play out, the wrong way. So
what I'm trying to say to you is this: if you are going to marry a sister from back home, then number one, you need to understand what you're signing yourself up for. Number two, it might be worth your while considering moving there as opposed to moving her here. And number three, I go back to my original point. Look in your locality, because you keep saying that, I can't deal with these sisters here. They're too liberal and so on. And I'm sure there are plenty of liberal American sisters. But, Sammy, you haven't been through the numbers, bro. You haven't knocked enough doors to make that judgment yet. Even though I'm inclined to agree with you, I'm sure there are still a lot of good sisters there. You can't tell me there's not. You just got to find them.
And how do you suppose I go about doing it? That's kind of
by whatever halal means necessary, brother. But one thing's for sure, it's not just gonna, you're just gonna sit there and then all of a sudden it don't work like that. You have to go out there and hustle. Find her. Go through the numbers. I don't know. Use these apps if you need to, but I don't know much about them. I've heard a lot of bad things about them for that matter. Socialize, bro. You are a salesman, Akhi. You are a salesman. You need to go out there and knock the doors by whatever means necessary. If it means enough, if it's that important to you, you'll find a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's important to me, and I'm putting myself out there. Like, I'm taking action. I'm on the apps. I've traveled.
But Sammy, you're not, Sammy. You're not. Because if you were, you would have gone through more than 4 sisters in the past 12 months. You should be doing that in a week. A week, bro. Bang, 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 bang. And you can do them at the same time as well. You can talk to these different sisters at the same time. No problem. At the same time. In fact, this will give you greater clarity when you're dealing with them. Why? Because you will always know there's another one that I've got talking to, so I won't get overly invested in this one because there's always a backup. Always talk to multiple sisters at the same time. I know the ladies don't like me hearing that. Saying that. I couldn't give a damn. It's the truth.
But, as you say, they got to pass the eye test, Mahdi.
Yes.
They got to pass the eye test.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also part of the issue because, like, you know, like you take good care of yourself, I take good care of myself. I feel like a lot of these sisters, they're not taking good care of themselves the way, you know, some of the brothers do, you know, going to the gym, eating clean, all that good stuff. So, you know, that's part of the issue as well.
No, for sure, bro. I mean, what is it? 70% of all Americans are overweight. Was it obese? Is it obese?
Obese, I wouldn't be surprised. We're
Yeah,
obese
it's
out
a
here.
mad number. It's a mad number. It's not much better here in the UK. But again, bro, just you're not. We can talk all day long, but ultimately, you do have to go out there and just sort. You are a salesman, and it's hard being rejected. I can't lie to you. It's hard, and that's why a lot of people don't like it. It is hard, but what other choice do you have? It's also hard being single and alone. That's hard as well. Choose your hard, akhi.
True.
All right, Sami, I'm gonna bring someone else on. A pleasure having you here, bro.
Likewise, thanks, man.
Take care, my man. Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
All right, I've got two more of you in the chat, but I do need to see your faces. Let me see your faces, please. Jazakumullah khair. Abdul and Hamza, I want to see your faces before I bring you on. In the meanwhile, Rashid Khuzaima, appreciate it, bro. Okay, Abdul, Jazakallah khair. I'll bring you on next. 499, appreciate it, akhi. Modern women understand how bad things have gotten. They simply don't care. I love you for the sake of Allah, my beloved Mahdi. أحبك الله الذي أحببتنا به أحببتنا فيه, my man. Jazakumullah khair. May the one whose sake you love me for, love you also. I mean, do they understand? I don't know, bro. I don't think they do, to be honest with you. The solipsism is real. Ilyas Muhandis, appreciate the 499 super chat, my man. Jazakallah khair. A 60-year-old guy at the gym asked me why I don't go to talk to this attractive female at the gym because I'm tall, fit, and relatively good looking. Yeah, why don't you, bro? What's your question? I don't understand what your question is. Oh, we've got another one here. Okay. Appreciate it, Akhi. 999. Ilyas, once again. I told him that the world is not the same as when he was 32. That woman has thousands of men on her IG checking for her. My attention is not that special anymore, and their attitudes show that. Yes, but you still have to make a move, Ilyas. Especially you're saying you're tall and handsome as well. You have an advantage now. You go up to her. If it's a sister, I'm assuming, yeah? You say there's a woman, attractive female at the gym. Well, if she's a sister, what the hell is she doing in a mixed gym? But let's just keep this general to the sister. Approach her. Hey, your sister. You know, I just see you passing by. I thought I'd just approach you. I'm looking to get married. This is my number. Please hand it to your wali if you two are also looking to get married. Masalama. Bounce immediately. Keep it moving. And let me tell you something. For those of you who are scared of rejection, are scared of looking silly, looking dumb, bro, no one's thinking about you. This is the harsh reality. No one is thinking about you. Everyone is so caught up in their own problems, in their own life issues. No one's thinking about you. 5 minutes later, she would have forgotten about you if she's rejected you. So don't kill yourself on this. Everyone's looking at me. Everyone feels like they're looking at themselves. Everyone thinks that they are the star of the show. Remember my sister telling me this analogy. Everyone thinks they're the star of the show. Go to a place a gathering where many people have gathered. I guarantee you will be self-conscious of yourself whilst not paying any attention to anyone else. You're just worried, what do I look like right now? How do I appear to others right now? Newsflash. Everyone else is thinking the exact same thing and feeling the exact same way. What is everyone thinking of me? No one's thinking about you. No one. So go up there, go through the numbers. Okay. Abdul, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Bring your face back on the camera, akhi, and I'm going to bring you on, inshallah. Before I add you to the stream, I need you to come one more time. Abdul, are you there? If you can hear me, bring your face to the screen. Nope. Okay. Let's bring Sarosh on. Sarosh, assalamu alaikum. Sarosh, are you there? Well, these streamers have got me tripping now, man. I'm worried that we're going to get another flip in. Abdul, you there? All right. These two are not here. Let me kick him from the studio. Kick. Okay, Abdul is here. Abdul, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
I didn't want to.
Okay, no problem. Yes,
You hear me?
Akhi, these guys got me tripping. That's why I'm double checking and triple checking. Yes, Akhi, tfaddal.
Yeah, I know. That was unfortunate, bro. So I'm in a like a weird situation. So I was talking to a sister, and
Your internet is really bad, bro. Hold on. Abdul, your internet is really bad, Akhi. I can't hear a word you're saying.
I'm in the basement. Hold on. Is that better?
That's a little bit better, yeah.
So I'm in a weird situation. Basically, um, I was talking to a sister for a long time, right?
Okay.
It didn't work out because she's what's it called? She's a divorcee, right?
Right.
She has a kid, and I liked her, and she, everything was going good. But I don't know, for whatever reason, it didn't work out. I didn't really trust her. She had hijab, but I don't know. Maybe it's my own trust issue thing, but I just didn't trust her in the sense of her feminist kind of ideas. So
Okay.
I would always like test her, like how you do those tests. So I would test her and try to figure out where's her mind at and whether she's on the same page. And she, she wanted to work. She didn't like the idea of wearing niqab. She didn't want to do a lot of things that were pretty much aligned with what I wanted. So eventually things started to like fall apart. And
Just to be clear, you didn't get married. You're not married yet.
no. Right now, currently, after having spoken to her and everything fell apart, I just got like tired and sick of it. So I kind of settled for like kind of settled. It's not 100% yet, but for a sister who's not as attractive as what I was used to with this other girl. So that's my issue right now. But everything else falls in line. She's great. She wants to wear niqab. She wants to have a lot of kids. She wants to stay at home. Everything is the 9 yards is great. It's just she's not as attractive as I'm used to. So that's where I feel like nervous about even moving towards it, even though I'm kind of just moving towards it.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You said she's not as attractive, but are you attracted to her?
Yeah, but like, I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Your intonation said a lot there. Yeah. What do you do, Abdul? What do you do? What's your occupation?
Web developer.
Web developer. And roughly how much do you earn? Are you average or above average? You don't need to give me a number if you don't want to.
A little above, just basically average, a little bit above average, but it grows, inshallah.
Right. And how old are you?
32.
32. Okay, so you got runway ahead of you. This is the thing, bro. This other sister you were talking about, if you had to rate her out of 10, where would you rate her? The first one was like, I don't like to think along these lines because I feel like it's not the right thing. I need a number, bro. I need a number so that I can continue this. Just roughly. I don't know what she looks like. I don't know who she is. So roughly, what's the number?
When I first saw her, she was drop dead gorgeous, and I was just like really into it. 9, I would have said 9 that day, but like as I got used to it and everything, I would say now 7.
That's fine. Your initial impressions are what matter the most. You see,
right.
A 9, that's a dime piece. Okay, 9 and 10, 10 out of 10, that's a dime piece. When you're dealing with very beautiful women, women have very many options. Okay, and they know it.
Right, I know
it. And unless you are bringing, so a very beautiful woman is the equivalent of a multimillionaire man. That's the equivalent, right? So she's putting up a fight with you, I can tell you for sure, because she's thinking in the back of her mind, I can find someone who's better than you. And don't take that as a slight. I'm just reporting to you the message. She's thinking, I know. I can find someone who can give me a life 10 times as better as what you can give me, and won't even ask me to do that as well. So when you're dealing with those types of women, it comes with a price tag.
Yeah.
That price tag, it is what it is. And that's why I mentioned the other day, a woman who is less attractive. And in fact, let me tell you this. Let me share this with you. I forget the name of who the highest earner on OnlyFans was, but the highest earner on OnlyFans, female, she was not a very attractive woman. Now, I haven't seen her, but I'm reporting to you what I heard another podcaster, another YouTuber say. And he mentioned that the reason why she was so successful is precisely because she was not super attractive. And before I continue this explanation, for those of you who are in the chat right now or watching this video, we've got 120 of you and only 40 likes. That's disrespectful. I want to take that personally, guys. Even if you dislike the video, YouTube doesn't discriminate between interaction. Hit that like or the dislike. I don't care. We need to get those likes up, right? Let's get them up to at least 70 likes. Jazakumullah khair. The reason why he mentioned that she was so successful is precisely because she was not as attractive. What does that mean? Men worldwide, all of her thousands of subscribers or whatever you call them, patrons, whatever it is, felt like they had a chance with her because she wasn't a dime piece. They knew on some level of consciousness, I don't stand a chance with a dime piece, with a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10. But this 6 out of 10 girl, I might stand a chance with her. And thousands of men thought the same thing. Why am I sharing this with you? Because it's rooted in a reality. And that reality is a less attractive girl is going to work harder to please you. She's going to work harder to please you. Now, the question is, you do still have to be attracted to her. You have to be attracted to her, of course, taban.
Right. No, I am generally like attracted. I feel like I can raise a family with her. It's just now she has a dead end. She has a dead end where she's like, if I want to end up with a second wife, she wants khula, that agreement all the girls do. So the
6 out of 10 has said to you, if you get married again, she wants a khul. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Then what did you respond to her?
I told her there's no such thing as a man that doesn't want a second wife, so you should get that out of your head right now. But like for me, it's not practical at the moment, and so it is what it is. I'll happily sign an agreement where you can have full out.
No.
This is haram.
No.
I couldn't sign that.
She cooks, she cleans, she won't cheat because she'll get stoned. She gives as many kids as you want, she obeys. This is #1 bullshit.
No.
So I should refuse.
No, brother. Wait, I got one more for you.
Shut up, you now it's Obama.
Listen, Auntie. Listen to me, bro. When you as a man agree to this arrangement, what you are subcommunicating to this woman, you are subcommunicating that I cannot get another woman, because if I could, then I would never sign this.
Right.
Now, the truth is, that's your reality right now, right?
Right.
Normal. You're 32
I have full intention to do it, but yeah, it is my reality.
Right. You full intentions to do it, but right now you're not capable. But the thing is, bro, you need to conduct yourself like you are already there. Because if you don't, this is what's going to happen. And this comes down once again to my pet peeve of divorce. You, in 10 years' time, inshallah ta'ala, if you stay the course, if you continue the course and work hard and, you come into your prime and you blossom and flower, you will be able to take on another wife.
Inshallah.
Financially. Inshallah ta'ala. But your first wife will not accept it, and she almost definitely will get khul from you. And now, guess what?
And I wouldn't want that, especially with kids. Why would I do that to kids?
Exactly. I don't care about you, and I don't care about her. I care about the kids.
Exactly.
They are the ones who are affected by this, right?
Right.
So you need to conduct yourself right here, right now, as though you are capable of doing it. A woman says to you, "No, by the way." See, it's amazing how women operate from an abundance mindset so much better than men, because she is prepared to walk away. She's like, what? Hell no. They are so much. That's the pre-nut clarity that they have. Anyway, you need to operate the same way. Maybe Abdul's not going to get married again. Are you crazy?
Yeah.
Me not get married again? Are you mad? Of course I'm going to get married again. That's the response. And then she says to you, "Oh well, no, then I don't. Then okay, fine, go, Rahi, go." Now, the reason why a lot of men are reluctant to say go, to tell her to do one, is because they know how long it took them. You know how long it took you to find a sister who's actually willing to marry you and provide you, with your halal outlet and so on. So women literally have men by the balls, quite literally. Still, brother, if you this harm, this evil that you see is the lesser of two evils if we are to compare it with the evil of agreeing with this and then 10 years down the line getting married again and then breaking she gets her khul and then the kids are raised in broken homes.
Yeah.
You need to conduct yourself right now from that position. Have you signed anything? Tell me, how has this played out so far?
No, the signing is probably a couple of weeks away. So I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm nervous about whether I should do that because I know it's going to be a problem down the line because I know I'm going to want it down the line. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. It's just, should I sign it? Because every single girl I've met, wallahi, every single girl I've met who has a little bit of knowledge, she'll want to say it. And I'll argue. I used to argue that it's haram. You can't even argue for it because the ayah, there's an ayah where you can't make haram what's halal. And it was specifically exactly this, where, you know, the wives of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam kind of told, kind of made an agreement with him to not take another wife or something. The ayah is Surah Isra, the first ayah, first and second, I think.
يا أيها النبي لم تحرم ما أحل الله لك تبتغي مرضات أزواجك. Oh, Messenger of Allah, why do you make haram what Allah has made halal just to please your wives?
Exactly. So, but I asked a number of muftis. Alhamdulillah, I know a few. Every single one from different firqas, from Deoband, from Al-Azhar, from Medina, every single one said it's okay that the girl asked this in the contract because the contract agreement is different from this. So I mean, I'm not sure how. I'm not a scholar myself. So
no. It is okay. It is halal. That's not the question here.
Right.
It is halal. This is not. Yes, this is well understood. It's halal, but
to
you don't have to accept it, bro.
Right.
Exactly.
It.
Bro, the moment she tries to drop that, that's the laugh you drop on her, akhi. You need to look. من كبر شيء فتكبر ومن صغر شيء فتسخر. Shout out to No Man Ali Khan for that one. I use it all the time. Whoever makes a big deal out of something, it becomes a big deal. And whoever makes a small deal out of something, it becomes a small deal. Like, you just went off. Oh, I'm going to sign up. You must be crazy. Me. And instantly you will convey to her that you are a man of options. Even if you're not, it doesn't matter, man. You're going to have to conduct yourself like this. And you're going to be scared of losing her? No. The more you try to please her, the more likely you are to lose her. Frame that one, please. Those of you in the chat. The more scared you are to lose her, what did I just say?
Likely you are.
The more likely she is to leave you. I forgot what I said. Right? But when you
that makes sense.
Because look now, I'll prove it to you, brother. She has said to you, she's trying to place a stipulation upon you that you are not happy with, and yet you are still willing to sign it and marry her. That's your proof. That's your proof.
Right.
If you want proof that by that telling her something that she will initially dislike will not make her run away, that's your proof right there. Because she's telling you something that you dislike, and you are still willing to sign it and agree to it and marry her. That's your proof, brother. So I'm glad that we've had this conversation, Akhi, before you've gone and flipping signed your death warrant, because that's what it was, brother. That's what it was.
Right. Khul is a real problem, especially for kids. It's not easy.
Right.
And at the same time, why would I be trapped? Probably end up in haram.
Right.
Right. So I don't want to do that. So no matter what, I know I'm gonna want.
What's your next moves?
Sorry, say that again.
What are your next moves? What are you gonna do now?
I gotta have a conversation, a heavier conversation, and tell her, look, this whole contract is not gonna work because I know in myself I'm gonna have a lot of desires, and it's not gonna work, and we're gonna have problems. So if you really want me, let's try to make this work, but let's skip this clause in the contract, and then everything else, inshallah, khair, it'll work out. Hopefully she accepts that. I don't know.
It's gonna be hard for her to accept that after you have agreed. By the way, I'm just letting you know.
Right. It's gonna be a tough reversal.
The reversal is the same as her agreeing to you marrying again and saying, yeah, that's fine, and then going back on it afterwards. It's gonna be tough for you to accept that as well, right? What I'll say to you is this: don't bother trying to explain it to her because she will never understand it. Women in general will never understand why a man wants to take on another woman in the first place. Because she, as a woman, when she loves her husband and she is attracted to him and she loves him, she does not desire another man. So she tries to make this blank slate equality comparison, this equal comparison. If he loves me, if he desires me, why on earth does he want to marry again? That I know what it is. I must be deficient, which is nonsense. Sisters who are thinking that, it's nonsense. So don't bother trying to explain it. Just simply say to her, you know what? I was tripping. I made a mistake. There's absolutely no way. You got to make light of it. I need you to make light of it. There's absolutely no way I can sign something as ridiculous as that. It's going to be like, what? No, come on, don't be silly. I need you to make light of it.
Yeah.
The less serious you make it, the less deep you get into it, the more light you make it, the more light she will take it. She will receive it. There's no guarantees, by the way. This could blow it off completely. But better to blow it off if that does happen than for you to marry her and then blow it off 10 years down the line with 2, 3, 4 kids in the picture.
Right, you're right. Absolutely, 100%.
Right,
Jazakallah khair. It's really good. It's you and AbuAmerican are lifesavers, man. I really appreciate your content.
My pleasure. Jazakallah khair for coming on, my man. Take care.
Hayakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. All right. Sarah, assalamu alaikum. Your internet's laggy, bro. Your internet's laggy. All right, Saeed, show me your face, please, Saeed. Ahmed, I need to see your face as well. I think I had Ahmed the other day. Did we have Ahmed on the stream the other day? Oh, I'm tripping. I am tripping since we had that flipping A'udhu Billah. All right, Ahmed, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Can you hear me?
Yes, alhamdulillah, it's you.
Hope everything is going well with you, Brother Mahdi.
Likewise, Akhi.
So I have 3 questions.
Okay.
Or I can ask you one if you want. Okay. So, do you think feminism has influenced Muslim women to raise their mahr?
That's a great question, bro. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Okay, why do women make these outlandish mahr requests in the first place? What do you think the reason is for them saying, I want 20,000, 50,000? Why do you think that is?
So, I think because mainly feminism, but before that, sometimes because of when they don't want the guy, they will ask for extremely high mahr. That's my personal reasoning.
Very good. Well done. I'm glad you said that. When a sister doesn't rate a brother like that, she will not compromise on her mahr. And Ahmed has hit the nail on the head. He will not compromise on the mahr. Why? Because she's in the back of her mind, she's thinking, I reckon I could do better than you, but you're the only brother who's in the picture right now. So as a security, as a backup, I'm going to make sure that I at least get a good payout from this. I at least get some money out of this. Hence why she's unwilling to compromise. And hence why I say to the brothers, never ever negotiate mahr. If a sister is refusing to budge, what you need to understand from that is that she's telling you, I don't rate you like that. Because believe me, if she did, she would pay you to take her. Let me say that again. She would pay you to take her. Not that she should pay you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying she would do. So you don't negotiate on it. When a sister is not compromising on mahr, it's because she doesn't rate a brother like that. Is it connected to feminism? Quite possibly, yes. Because feminism has made multiple generations of men who are unattractive to women. They thought that this would make men more attractive by making these continual concessions and bending the knee. Actually, it has made men on a mass scale less attractive. Hence why we have programs like Sex Life on Netflix, for example. Hence why we have books like 50 Shades of Grey. Why? Because those types of men, even though it's an extreme example, they've become the stuff of fantasies to women. So yes, I think you have a point there. Does that answer your question?
Yes, but I was thinking another reasons, because feminism encourages women to go for careers and not be housewives. So if a guy comes, they will ask for very high mahr, so he will leave.
Once again, Akhi, I'll say it again. When a sister rates a brother like that, all of that mahr talk goes out the window. All of it goes out the window. Believe me, she's too scared to lose you. She's too scared to lose you. And I will say, you always want to be in a position of control as a man. And for those of you who take issue with the word control, or you're a control freak, if control is bad, then out of control is good. Okay? Control is good. because out of control is bad. We don't want out of control. And the only way you can put yourself in control, Ahmed, is by making sure you are constantly striving to be the best version of yourself. No time wasting, no dossing. No, you are constantly striving on whatever it is that you're doing, and you are becoming the best version of yourself. You are improving mentally, you are improving financially, you are improving in your wisdom, your intellect, everything. Holistically, you are physically, you are becoming the best version of yourself. That's how you put yourself
Understand.
back in control.
Okay. Thank you for that answer. So my next question is like, why are there so many women or like Muslim women in general, like who ask like 100 times the amount of what the wives of the Prophet, peace be upon him, asked?
What? Repeat that question, please.
So nowadays, our Muslim sisters ask like 10 times the amount of mahar of what the wives of the Prophet, peace be upon him, asked. Like, shouldn't that be like the, how can I say it, the limit or like or reference for the mahar, like how much it should be?
Absolutely. My answer to that is very simple. The Prophet ﷺ, you take that same woman from here, from 2021. Let's say a sister who's asking for, what do you consider as a high mahar, Ahmed?
I think like over $25,000 or like.
Okay, so let's say I'm going to take a sister. She demands $25,000. I'm going to pick up this sister, and then in this example, I'm going to go back in time to at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, and in this philosophical, hypothetical example, I should say, this sister is presented with the opportunity to marry the Prophet ﷺ, but for the mahar that he has paid for all his other wives. I have a question for you, Ahmed. Do you think she is going to say to the Prophet ﷺ, I will not marry you unless you pay me the equivalent of $25,000 mahar? Or do you think that she will say, hell yes, marry me. In fact, marry me for free, marry me for nothing? Which one do you think is more likely?
The second one, obviously.
Right. What's my point here? Now, I know this is an extreme example,
Yeah.
and that of the Prophet ﷺ was the best of mankind, and any woman would break all the rules for her. But it still highlights a principle, and that principle is women make rules for men they don't rate and break them for men they do. That's the principle.
Answered, but like, don't women know the consequences? Like, if they keep demanding very high mahar, like more than 90% of men will like deny that, and they keep aging, like reach to a point where they can't like have children, or like they can't, their sexual market value will get very low. Like, don't they know that will happen, and like, or like, what happens in their mind?
Good. They do, and they don't care.
Okay.
Women in general would rather be single than to marry a man that she feels she's settling for. An emphasis on the word feel, because she might not be settling. It might be she's thinking she's settling, but actually she's lucky to have him. But the point is her perception. She believes, she perceives she is out of the league of this man. She'd rather stay single than marry him. You see, women have that pre-nut clarity that I keep talking about. Men don't get it until post-nut. We don't get it until we've actually done the deed. Women have it beforehand. And in her mind, if her perception is, I can do better than this, a lot of them would rather be single. And the stats on this are clear. 43% of all women aged 25 to 45 right now in the West are single and childless. And that number is set to rise to 45% by 2030. These are stats that have been studies that have been done by banks. Banks. Why? Because banks want to know what investments they should put their money in for the future. And if there's going to be a generation of single women, then we need to start investing in cat food and boxed wine. That's why they do these studies. So yes, she'd rather be single than marry someone that she feels she's settling for. That's what's happening right now, even if she's wrong.
I'm really shocked, honestly. Like, I thought they would know better. Like, I've read studies like women over 40, or like women in very high tired jobs, like over 30, that has no children, and their like satisfaction is very low compared to a mother who has like 5 children, or like housewife. I mean, yeah, I was expecting some different else. Yeah.
Ahmad, I need to bring other people on, but I appreciate you coming on, Akhi.
Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot, brother.
Habib, take care.
مع
Salam
السلامة. مع السلامة.
alaikum. What is it Rich Cooper says? Women would rather share a successful alpha than be saddled with a faithful beta. And a lot of the time it comes down to perception, by the way. A lot of the time it does. But how many alphas are there in the world? Not many. Pareto principle, 80-20. 20% of men are desirable to 80% of women. 80% of women want 20% of men. Pareto principle applies to almost anything and everything you can think of. 20% of your products will do 80% of your sales. 20% of students will be, so I'm trying to think of an appropriate example here, will be responsible for, can't think of an example quick enough. You understand where I'm going. Ikram Jani, I appreciate the 9.99 super chat. Shukran, sister. Fall in love with Salah, it has eternal effect. Nice. My husband is my boss, and I wouldn't want to demean myself working for anyone else. Big. That is big, mashallah. 100 times better than any other job. You know what? I'm so glad you said this, Ikram. Sisters, you don't want to be a maid at home. This is the term that has been coined a lot. Yeah? Okay, fine. But you don't mind being a slave to your employer. You don't mind being a slave to your employer. But maid at home? No, that's a problem. Okay. Pick your poison. Got another super chat here somewhere. Rashad, I appreciate the £5 super chat, my man. Keep fighting the good fight and keep having these difficult conversations. I appreciate it, my man. I appreciate it. Jazakallah khair, my man. Must be Algerian, mashallah. Okay. The first person to flash their face in the stream backstage, I will bring you on. No one can see you right now except me. I need to know that you are flipping real because I ain't having that nonsense on my stream again. First person to flash their face, not the freaking wall, not the bleeding shisma. No, your face. Okay, there we go. Yes, Zuz. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Yes, but you know, every time I bring someone on, I'm literally scared. Is this gonna be another? It's gonna be another flipping Borno. Yes. Brother Lapi, yes, what you got for me, bro?
Yeah, man. You know, I've been watching your content for a little bit, and in my opinion, like you're like the Muslim light version of Rich Cooper, if you know what I mean, man.
Appreciate
it. I
it.
like your content.
Jazakallah khair. Appreciate it.
So I just wanted to add some comments. Like I'm 22 right now, and I think one of the biggest things is social media, like of course feminism, the universities and colleges, and you can just see like on every Netflix show they talk about LGBTQ, or they talk like a lot of them, like they show like Muslim women taking off their hijab, every single one.
So
every single one.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's not even just affecting like I would say Muslim women, but you can see like Christian women too, Jewish women. Like I have some Christian friends, and their religion is basically dead. And I don't mean that in like a bad way, because I know in the Quran it says to the people of the book, and they have their own things that they do. But it's very sad to see that you remove.
Zuz, your voice has cut out, my man.
It destroys itself. You know what I mean?
You cut out there. Can you repeat that last sentence again?
I was just gonna say, like, you can see this with all religions, all monotheism, monotheistic religions, where you remove God from the family, you remove the fear of God from women, and everything collapses. Like it goes back to the primitive days. And I'll say this for sure: whether you're Muslim, Jewish, or Christian, the women are women. It doesn't matter, right? They will be women, and men will be men. And the top men will get all the women. And I know this, right? Of course, I'm Muslim, so I do believe in the Quran, everything like that. But it's true. But yeah, that's one of the observations that I found out. And I had a couple questions for you.
Hit me.
So the first one is like, okay, as a young man, right? My number one focus, of course, is to have a beard like you, inshallah.
Up here's not even that, bro.
Not only a beard like you, man, but good body, good money, and of course to get married one day. My question to you is, of course, like avoiding pornography and masturbation, all of those haram stuff. How do you control that? Like, I mean, if you have, I know you spent 1 year in Saudi, right? And I know I saw one of your videos. I know the the pipes were clogged. But how did you deal with that, man?
I am not a great person to ask on how to deal with being single because I got married so young. I was blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to get married at the age of 16. From the age of 16, I have always had at least one wife, at least. Yeah, sometimes three. So that 1 year I spent in Saudi, as you mentioned, was a total nightmare, bro. I don't know how I dealt with it. Porn and all of that, alhamdulillah, is far away, far away. I've never had to deal with any of those type of problems, but I know a lot of men are dealing with those problems.
Yeah.
And actually, because I don't have any knowledge on this, I've brought in an expert. He's a doctor, and we're gonna be setting up a seminar soon, specifically dealing with porn and I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. Boring, with boring and masturbation addiction. So we will be bringing him in soon, but I can't advise you on something I have no knowledge of, Akhi. I don't know. Wallahi, I don't know. I wish I could answer you.
It's okay. I just read one stat where like the number one, I think the most traffic of porn users was, or let's just say haram users were in the Middle East. So
Really?
I found that was really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. So all my Muslim brothers out there were struggling. We're struggling really hard.
Yeah. Inshallah, I'm going to be bringing someone on soon who is qualified to speak on this. You had a second question, Zuz?
Yeah, the second question is this. Okay, as a young guy, of course, like I first want to make sure like my money is right before you do like a nikah. Like what do you recommend? Do you start young and then building from there, or would you recommend getting your wealth first, or your money straight and then getting married?
See, the thing with getting your money straight is that it takes a long time. That's the thing. It takes a long time. AbuAmerican was asked this question the other day, and his response was, "Wait, get your money right, and then get married." But I know how difficult it is to be single, and I know this for sure as well. If you fear haram, you feel like, you know what, I'm right on that border now. I have a feeling I'm gonna.
This is haram.
If you're right, on that, if you're right there, then you need to get married, brother, and tawakkul ala Allah. Okay. If, however, how old did you say you were?
22. Well, 22.
22. Okay, you're 21 years old. If and it's a big if, you can be patient and hold yourself, then take that frustration, that sexual frustration, and channel it into whatever it is that you are doing. Channel it, because you will never have as much free time as you do now. That's the one thing I can say. Being married, having children, it takes time from you, bro. And you just don't have that same amount of time that you had when you were single. But you see, it's pick your poison sort of thing. When you're single, you're horny as hell. And when you're married, you got less time. So what I will say is, if you can be patient, then use that time. Use it as a great motivation to progress deeply in whatever it is you do, and as quickly as possible.
Like you were talking about that post-nut clarity, right? Like I already know myself. If I do get married at this age, as soon as I do that, I'm gonna be like, what the hell did I just do? Like I know that. In the back of my head. So I think you're right. I gotta, focus on my craft and just channel that energy in.
Right, and you will be a more desirable prospect afterwards, and you will have more options. Zeus, I appreciate you coming on. I'll go bring with someone else. And thank you, my man.
No worries, man. I appreciate it, man.
Take care. Assalamu alaikum.
All right. Wa alaikum salam.
Yes, Hana. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hana, let's go.
Alaikum salam.
Yes, sister, what you got for me? Bismillah.
There was a question about why do women have such like high mahir?
Yeah.
And I think personally, a lot of females, like I was when I was like maybe like 19, 20, 21, we're not serious. We're not actually looking for a husband. So when we talk about like marriage, everything's a joke. We'll throw like the highest number out there. And I think a lot of men, what they see of women asking for a really high mahir is all online, it's all social media. I don't think they've had a real experience with a woman saying, I want this X amount, which I'm not saying that they need to, but I'm saying don't believe everything you see on social media, because a lot of these females, they're just joking.
What's your mahar? What's your price?
Honestly, I don't know. I haven't like actually seriously thought about it, because
it's time to
I only recently decided.
I'm presenting you with a brother. This print, your knight in shining armor. By the way, this knight in shining armor business is nonsense. If the armor is shining, it means he hasn't been through any tests or trials. But anyway, I'm gonna bring you your knight in shining armor. Okay, he's here. He's ready to marry you. What's your mahar?
I haven't thought about it.
But let's think about it right now, Hannah. Because if you haven't thought about it, how do you expect to get married? It's an important thing to think about. Throw a number.
Yeah, but I only recently, like within like the last month, I've started being
Okay. Throw a number. I need a number. Give me a number.
I'm going to be honest, I don't have a number.
Okay. Less than 1,000?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. So there is a number. More than 1,000?
Yeah, obviously.
1,100? 1,100?
In pounds?
Yes, in pounds.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
1,100. Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah. Wait, 1,100 is in £1,100?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay. Right, yalla. 1,500?
No. I'll be honest.
Hold on. Work with me. 2,000?
2,000 is like what? 2 months salary?
2.5?
No.
3?
I'll be honest. I'm not thinking about money. I'd rather ask for something for him to like.
Hannah.
This is number one bullshit.
Of course you're thinking about money. You just said that 3,000 is not enough. So yalla, tell me. أنا بحب اللحم كتير وهذا الريت الدار or here for the لحم يضرب 1 hour. Okay, 4,000. 4,000.
Depends on how old he is. If he's my age, and I think I wouldn't go higher than maybe 4 or 5. If he was my age, exactly my age.
Can I ask you a question? Okay, so you say you don't know how much you want, but at the same time you kind of have an idea because you know 1,000 ain't enough, 2,000 ain't enough, 3,000 ain't enough, 4,000 isn't enough. So you do have an idea. Can I ask, based upon what did you get this number? What is this man to be getting in return? Because now we're getting into the high numbers. What's he getting in return?
I think, first of all, I already said that I haven't actually really thought about this. And I do think that a lot of girls, when we joke around, we say high numbers. And I honestly feel like it's dangerous because once you keep joking about marriage, it becomes a joke. So once you keep joking and saying 10K, 15K, and then you start thinking, 10K, 15K. And then when you hear 1K, it's like, it becomes sort of.
So Hannah, what is a man getting in return? You know what? Before we even get there, you haven't answered me. 5,000 enough for you? 6,000. 7,000.
I don't know. I already said I don't have a number. I think we should just move on.
You do have a number because you have turned down the first few thousand. All right, I'm going to keep going and you tell me when to stop, okay? 8,000. 9,000.
No.
No? More?
I think if he's my age, I think I wouldn't go over 4,000. I wouldn't go over, or maybe 5.
Okay. If he's your age, £5,000. I mean, I wouldn't pay it, but it's not bombastic. You know, I never paid more than £150 for any of my wives, including the one who I married first time around. Never more than £150. So if you were to say to me £5,000, I'll say to you,
this is number one bullshit.
مع السلامة.
That's the thing. I haven't really thought about it. I could change my mind. I could go down.
Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why, Hannah? Do you want to know why I would say that?
I think you're putting too much pressure on me.
Because look, this is all I require.
Put that burqa on and shut the fuck up.
As well as this.
She cooks, she cleans, she won't cheat because she'll get stoned. She gives you as many kids as you want, she obeys.
I'm a simple man. I am simple. Very simple. So why would I pay £5,000 for something that is so simple? Just please help us to understand this. We want to understand.
No, because I feel like you pushed me in a corner. I'm not saying 5,000, 100%. I'm just saying if you don't present 1,000 to a female, why don't you say I'll buy you a ring instead? But if you say, oh, I'm only going to give you 1,000, you're not worth anything. That's
because mahar is something that we have to talk about. It's part of our deen. It's stipulated in our religion. We can't avoid it, right? Do you understand? Now, typically, how it should be is that a man, he says to a woman what he's willing to pay. Well, it is what it is. What he's willing to pay, and then she says yes or no. That's how it should work. Now that the script has been flipped, whereby we're asking women what do they want, and then they just pull out these numbers from thin air. Okay, let me ask you a question, Hannah.
But can I say something?
Hold on. What the mahar of the wives of the Prophet ﷺ was the equivalent of around £800. The equivalent of its weight in silver today, in today's money, is around £800 sterling. My question for you, Hannah, is what do you have in terms of qualities that the mother of the believers didn't have, wal'iyadu billah, to justify you asking for more than what they did?
Absolutely nothing. Okay, absolutely nothing.
Okay,
But
hold that thought. So if you have absolutely nothing on them, which I agree, of course, they are our mothers, then radiyallahu anhum jami'an, then where do you get the audacity to put numbers out there that are 3, 4, 5, 6 times more than what the wives of the Prophet ﷺ got?
yes, I know. I 100% agree with you. But I think what I'm saying.
Hold on. Everything before but is BS. Everything before but.
This is number one bullshit.
So if you agree with me, Hannah, then wouldn't it make sense that you need to reconsider what type of mahar you will be happy with, and look at the more important things of the brother himself? All right, let me explain to you what I mean. There are some sisters who want very high mahars for the purpose of security, not realizing that even £10,000, even £20,000 can be spent like that. A more important question would be, where is this man going? Do I see this man has some type of future, some type of like optimistic, colorful future ahead of him, and I can jump on board with that? Because let me tell you something: 5 grand, 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, it's nothing. It goes like that. Yes.
One, I've only started being serious about marriage maybe within the last month. So there's a lot of things that
Hold that thought. Ilyas Mohandes, I want to get this out real quick before it leaves. Jazakallah khair for the 5-year super chat. How women look at a man's money is how we men look at your looks. Yeah, there's a lot of truth in that. Yes, Hannah. Shukran for the super chat, Ilyas. Carry on, Ilyas. Sorry, Hannah, carry on.
I'm saying, yeah, I've only started seriously thinking about marriage like a month ago, and I've been thinking about all these things, like for example the meher thing. And I'm not saying that I want £5,000 like me. I'm not saying that. And I have been thinking about the fact that men do have a lot of responsibilities. For example, if he's going to pay the bills, if that's what I want, then I think it's making it more difficult to then ask for a large sum of money. And I don't really see the value of me having a large sum of money in my bank account just for the sake of it.
Good.
Because I don't, like, what would I even spend it on? Like, I don't know anything about investment or anything. So what I'm saying is, I'm not requiring a large sum. I would rather maybe he says like, oh, I will buy you a ring and I will also pay for Hajj, let's say. But the men.
Whoa. Do you know how much Hajj is? Do you know how much?
This is number one bullshit.
How much is Hajj, Hannah? You live
Okay,
in the
but
UK.
why am I always complaining?
Hold on. You live in the UK, right? You got a British accent. How much is Hajj? Please tell me.
Can you not afford Hajj once in my life?
Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying, as a prerequisite to mahar, do you know how much Hajj is?
So he can't even take me Hajj.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Answer the question. Don't be disingenuous. I am saying to you, do you know how much Hajj is?
I think it's like 3,000 maybe.
No, it was 3,000 back in 2007. Hajj now you're looking at around £6,000. Okay, so now you want, let's just put this down to money. You want £6,000 plus what else? The mahar as well. Is that what you said, or the ring? What else was it?
Yeah, let's say a ring, but
right. Okay. How much is the ring?
I feel like anything a female says, you men have something to say back. Like anything a female says is not enough. Unless she's happy to take.
I'm still waiting. Hold on. I'm still waiting for your counter argument. Hajj is £6,000.
Sorry.
I'm still waiting for your counter argument. Hajj is £6,000. That's a lot of money, right? To make that as a stipulation. You see, he wants to take you on Hajj, but he doesn't want to feel like it's a stipulation in his contract. Do you see the difference?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that.
You understand? He wants to take you. He doesn't want to feel like he's going to lose his head if he doesn't. It's too.
Okay. What can a woman ask for?
Pardon?
What can a woman ask for?
I would say to you, the sooner the better. Very simple. What's the fear in accepting a mahar that the wives of the Prophet ﷺ accepted? Because ultimately, Hana, if you are choosing to marry this man, you are choosing to accept to marry this man, then it means that you have entrusted him with your future. With that being the case, what's wrong with accepting a mahar that is the equivalent of that to what the wives of the Prophet ﷺ accepted?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But
Barakallahu feek.
yes, I know, but
So hold on, Hannah. Before the but, if that's the case, then what do you think the next logical step should be the next time you get into a serious discussion with a brother that you really like and you want to marry, in terms of your stipulations for mahar?
What's the equivalent to their mahar today?
About £800, £850, and the equivalent of its weight in silver.
I would prefer he buy me £800 of gold, but just for a guy to, I don't know. I think.
What's the fear? This is a fear. What's the fear? For you to accept £800 mahar, it's troubling you. Why? What's the fear?
That all he has is £800.
I don't care how much money I have. I ain't paying no woman more than £150. Period. Ever. That's Mahar Fatimi. Mahar Fatimi was less, equivalent of £80. Period. Now, am I stingy? No. After I got married, I took my wife on a lovely honeymoon, beautiful honeymoon, 5-star hotel. Like, I brought her all sorts of gifts and all sorts. But the mahar, hell no. I ain't negotiating on that. Why? Because the low mahar is the sunnah. The mahar that is closest to the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ is the best mahar. That's why. I don't want anything to strip or take barakah away from my marriage. You see, it's not coming from a place of stinginess or from a place of me being a miser. No, it's coming from a place of I don't want to do anything that could impact the barakah of my marriage. Mahar, 150 quid. After that, go wherever we want to go.
Yeah, I honestly, I feel like the more I think about my head, I see it as kind of like if you make it a lot, it is a bit excessive because he is going to pay the bills and stuff. But yes, I know I'm saying about. I think with the way that men react to Mahar, for example, a lot of guys, they say, "Oh, I'm only going to give her £100, or I'm only going to give her £500," and the way they say it comes across as if they are sort of offended.
Oh, okay, go on, carry on. Offended.
And and I think also another part of it is if my man was taking care of me, paying the bills, and I was comfortable, then I wouldn't mind a low mahar. But if he wasn't, and then I also have to, like my friends, girls will ask you, what was your mahar?
Hold on. You keep stopping mid-sentence. You keep stopping mid-sentence. You also have to what?
Sorry?
Were you going to say if he wasn't taking care of all the bills, and you also have to what?
I'm saying sometimes it can be.
Yes.
Embarrassing.
What's embarrassing?
Because you can know that your man values you and stuff, but if a female asks you, "Oh, what was your mahar?" and you say £100, she's going to look at you like.
Like what? Why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care? You see, this is the problem. This is the problem, Matt. Is that because you girls are so worried about what the other girl is thinking, you are all keeping each other single. You're not married right now, right? You are all keeping each other single. Now, you're fortunate. You're still in your prime. You still have an opportunity to rectify this. But best believe, if you find a man that you like and you really want to marry, and you accept a more reasonable mahar, and then your friends start mocking you, understand that they will be mocking you. On the one hand, they might think, "Oh, look at her, she's desperate." But let me tell you, the overriding feeling that is motivating that mockery is that they are jealous that you are married and they are still single. It's being motivated by jealousy. Stop worrying about what the next sister's going to think and say and start worrying about you, because nobody else is going to be there to wipe your tears at night. And once you're crying me a river because your best years have passed and now suddenly the door has stopped knocking.
Well, also about that, I think when a girl's 30, you say, oh, she shouldn't have a long checklist. But when she's 21, she also shouldn't have a long checklist.
Good.
So there's no real advantage of her being in her prime.
No, of course there's an advantage. The advantage is she is desirable to a larger demographic of men. That's the advantage. She's desirable to a large demographic of men. But I told you the other day when we had this chat the other day, Hannah, that the requirements that you're looking for, you think 50 grand's not a lot. No, 50 grand is double the average, nearly double the average. So you need to start reconsidering what age demographic you are willing to marry into. And there's nothing wrong with that. 35 plus. And if that's unsavory to you, then understand men your age have as much money as you do. Let me say that again. Men your age have as much money as you do. No shame in that. It is what it is. You guys are young. It's fine. But don't expect him to somehow just, mashallah, just. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. But my main point was, I feel like a lot of young men.
No. Yeah, okay, go on. Your main point. What's your main point?
A lot of young men, they're having this sort of like hatred and like disdain for women because what they consume online is all these girls mainly joking. They're not being serious. Which should they joke? No, they shouldn't. About like how high they want their mahar to be. And my advice would be just get off it. Just get off social media and stop consuming women and then being angry at women online. You know.
All right. Look, I say, look, if women are putting that message out there, that's the equivalent of men putting whatever message you guys don't like out there, and then men turn around and saying, "Oh, we were just joking." Do you understand? That's on you guys. If that message is being perpetuated and peddled, that's on you guys. Hannah, I appreciate you coming on. Shukran, sister. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum salam.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap this up here, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khair for coming on. Inshallah, I'll be doing this again probably Saturday, possibly tomorrow. Appreciate you guys coming on. Hit that like, hit the sub. Patreon, I now have a Patreon for you sisters as well. Specific Patreon with content aimed at you sisters specifically. You can find that in the about section of my page. If you want a video request, you can email me. To those of you who are in the stream waiting, you can come on next time, inshallah ta'ala. I did try and bring some of you guys on, but you're not showing me your faces, and I ain't trying this. I ain't risking this again, man. A'udhu billah. Khair inshallah. Yalla. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.